Hashtag Truth Podcast. Hashtag Truth. Speaking truth. Yeah, we'll never back down. Hashtag Truth. Shining light on the underground. Hashtag Truth. Uncovering what they don't want known. Hashtag Truth. Uncovering what they don't want known. Hashtag Truth Podcast. We're never alone.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Hashtag Truth. Tonight we have the one, the only fourth generation wrestler, Mr. Evan Golden.
Scott, how are you, man?
I am doing great. You've got a little bit of bling over your shoulders, man.
Yeah, I figured I'd bring the championships on the show and show them off for the good people of the Hashtag Truth universe. Look, I mean, I'm proud to be a champion, but I've got a couple to represent, so I figured I'd bring them onto the show.
There you go, man. I love that. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this beautiful bean footage of our first segment of the show, and then we're going to ask questions all night long. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Hashtag Truth Podcast. Hashtag Truth. Speaking truth. Yeah, we'll never back down. Hashtag Truth. Shining light on the underground. Hashtag Truth. Uncovering what they don't want known. Hashtag Truth.
All right. This is Tell Us About You. Sir, where did you make your debut in professional wrestling?
I made my debut in December of 2021 here in Asheville, North Carolina, and that's where I was born and raised. And yep, 21 years old, finally made my debut after years of anticipation. And yeah, right, I got to debut right here in town, which is awesome.
That is cool. So we're going to start right off, man. You, like I said at the beginning, you're a fourth generation wrestler. I mean, your pedigree, your family's pedigree is just cemented in professional, especially Southern professional wrestling.
Right.
So tell us how the breakdown goes.
Well, so my great uncle is Bunkhouse Buck Jimmy Golden. A lot of people might know him from Continental Wrestling. A lot of people in this day and age are familiar with his work as Bunkhouse Buck in WCW. But yeah, Bunkhouse Buck Jimmy Golden's my great uncle, straight out of the stud stable. My father is 24 karat Eddie Golden. A lot of people might remember him from, I want to say most notably NWA Wildside.
Yes.
Those were the days that he was in his prime, and had gold over his shoulder as well. And to be a part of the Golden Wrestling family, it is tremendous, Scott. I mean, it's in my blood, but getting to grow up around them and mold into the men that they are is just it's tremendous.
So you basically grew up around a wrestling ring your whole entire life.
Yeah, man. But one of my earliest memories is just watching my dad wrestle live. I was probably a baby boy when I remember this. And it's cool because I literally remember just growing up around it, thinking it was what everybody else was doing, but it's definitely not.
Okay, I got it. I love that, man. And we've already got people coming in and saying hi. We got Christine Saucy Girl from YouTube said, "Hey Scott, I found you. Welcome to Hashtag Truth Saucy Girl." Hey, Evan digging the bling saying hello from Ohio. There you go.
What's going on, Christine? Thanks for tuning in. We love Ohio.
Yes, without a doubt. My dad's on watching. He said, "Are you baby or heel?"
Well, you know what? It depends what kind of mood I'm in. I'm definitely well, a lot of people think I'm a heel all the time, but I feel like I'm a pretty nice guy. I don't know what the problem is. I feel like I have a great attitude, and just because I go to a lot of towns that I don't like to be in doesn't mean that I'm a bad person. I mean, I'm supposed to go to Oneida, Tennessee soon. That's like going from paradise to a psych ward, but I'll put up with it. And I was just being nice. Ohio is a little bit of a rough place to go to as well, and I would rather not. But this is your show, and I'm happy to be here. So I will be on my best behavior. But Marvin, I'm gonna try my best unless things go
There you go.
horribly
We
wrong.
got somebody on here that I know Mr. James Strange from SOM said, "Hey Evan, you are amazing."
James, thanks for tuning in, man. Yeah, James and Lisa, they're good people, and then they are straight out of SOM, which is a company I am proud to represent.
Right. I just got through interviewing James maybe a week or two ago, I think.
Oh, there you go.
520 episodes, they all kind of mix in, but he was a great podcast. And we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to SOM soon, but I've got a few more questions I want to ask you, man. So who started training you? I know one of the Goldens had to have something, to do with this, but was there any influences outside of that helped you start in the business?
Yeah, there's actually a couple of very big influences outside of my dad. My dad definitely started training me. Actually, in a sense, I probably started training when I was like 6 or 7. I just
Right.
didn't even know I was training. It was one of those things where I just like it just kind of started happening to where, I have memories of my dad teaching me wrestling just here in the house or on the trampoline or just stuff that I didn't even know I was learning until later on. I was like, wait a minute, I've actually already known about this for a long time. But when I officially started training, Easy Money was the one who really put in his hand and
Okay.
taught me almost everything offensively that I know in wrestling. You guys may remember Easy Money from ECW, WCW. He's the one who innovated my finisher, the afterburner. He's the one who taught me how to flip and fly. And so my dad really taught me a lot of the basics. And obviously, like, I'm going to be a lot like him, whether I try to or not, because yeah, I can't help it. But like, Easy's the one who really put a lot of time and effort to make sure that I'm one of the most powerful people in this region. And I think it's definitely paying off. So.
So who did you wrestle in your very first match? Do you remember?
Yeah, I do remember I wrestled a man named Brandon Paradise, who was local to the area. I think he came out of South Carolina, and he was my first opponent. And I've kind of got an interesting story about Brandon. If if there's time,
By all means.
Brandon, when I first met him and found out that he was going to be my first opponent, obviously I was very worried and nervous as anybody would be. Brandon couldn't speak because he had been super kicked to his throat the weekend before the show. So not only did I not know who my first opponent was or have any background on him, he literally couldn't speak. He had no vocal cord because they
Wow.
super kicked his throat. So I just had to like use sign language with this person and just hope that he understood, what I'm all about. But he was a hell of a
So
first
you
opponent.
basically you guys were basically back in the locker room before your match, and you guys couldn't even talk about your match because he couldn't speak.
No, he couldn't speak, and
That's
and I
amazing.
yeah,
That's
I walked up
amazing.
to him. I was like, "Hello, I'm Evan Golden. This is my first match I've ever had." And he was just like, "Ah, gah, gah, ah, gah, 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 gah." And I was like, "What was that?" And he's like, "Ah, gah, gah." And then he showed me the video of him getting super kicked, and I was like, "Oh, he's trying to tell me he can't speak," which is
Right.
horrible,
Right.
especially when that's your first opponent. But the match was swell. It could have been worse.
Right. I can
So.
imagine, man. That is, I couldn't believe that. So, how much weight was on your shoulders when you first walked through that curtain as a Golden with
Yeah.
all the history in your family? Did you were you very nervous? What was your reaction when you came out and the crowd went nuts?
Well, so I was very nervous naturally, but I think more than anything, I was relieved because my whole life, all I'd ever known is I want to do this and I want to follow in my family's footsteps, especially my dad's. I spent most of my time on the road with my old man and just every show we ever went to together, whether I was 7 years old, 12 years old, 14. All I ever remember thinking every single time I'd watch him is like what I wouldn't give to go out and do exactly what he's doing, just like he's doing it. He's definitely my hero. So when I finally stepped through the curtain the first time, it was just an adrenaline rush I'd never felt before. It almost felt like a dream because for just hundreds of nights I'd always lay down thinking, man, what I wouldn't give to go out and wrestle just like he did. And then I finally did. And the coolest part about that match in particular is he was actually my manager. And so he got to kind of, walked me to the ring, my first ever walk
Right.
over, and it was super special. So
Oh man. So let me ask you, because some guys do this, some guys don't, that are, generational wrestlers. Do you have a certain move you do during your matches that, your dad did,
mhm.
or to commemorate him being dad?
Yeah, yeah. So there's a couple of moves that he used to do that I try to carry on. There's this move that he did a lot. I've renamed it. I call it the golden arm, and I don't even know the technical term for this move, but I basically put my elbow on the back of someone's neck and slam them down to my knee. He used to do that a lot, and now I make sure to put on a gold elbow pad every time I do it in homage to him. You gotta drip out the gold when your last name's Gold. And then also I tried to do I tried to do the frog splash. The frog splash used to be my dad's finisher.
Right.
And for some reason, Scott, every time I try to do the frog splash, they want to roll out of the way. So I try my best to attempt to do the golden frog splash, but most of the time I just resort to the afterburner because it does the trick every time. But
There you go, man.
but
There you go.
yeah,
I
and I
love it.
and also I try to brawl a lot too. My uncle is known for putting people down and taking them behind the barn and destroying them. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what
I
I
mean,
kind
you
of
you
do.
grew up, and learned from a lot of old school wrestlers. So I
Yeah,
imagine old school is instilled in you.
yeah, oh for sure.
Without a doubt. Oh, we got a hater. Charles Brock said Evan Golden sucks. Then he said he's just messing with you.
Oh well, that's what they always say when they say it to my face. Is that they got to throw in the truth and then they got to say, "Oh, but I'm just kidding, though."
Right? Yeah. Once they see the bling and they know who you are, it's like, oh, ooh, maybe not.
Well, we'll just see how many titles that Charles has over his shoulder. So.
Dad wants to know, have you got a favorite move that you perform?
So naturally, I want to say it's my finisher, but it's actually my favorite move that I do is another variation of my finisher. I do like a second version of it. I call it the super afterburner, and all it is
Okay.
is all I do is just the regular afterburner, and then I just do it off the middle rope. So
Oh, okay. I can't wait to see that. Brian
yeah.
Cummings, you're not gonna like this. He said, just joining, who trained you and how long have you been in the business? We've already covered that, Brian, if you want to go back and watch, but he's been in the business for 4 years now, I want to say.
It's been about 2.5,
Two
3.
and a
Yeah.
half. Okay. Okay. So I was wrong even. So there you go.
Ah,
And he said, if you ever feel hardcore, he's your Huckleberry. It's another wrestler from our area. So
Brian, I'll tell you what, man. There's nothing Evan Golden can't do. If you want to get hardcore, we can go out there and we can take care of business. You know what, Brian? You've got a lot of nerve coming in here talking like that. I'll tell you what.
yeah,
What do I do, Scott? Should I take this guy on?
I think so. I think we should book it. I think it'd be a pretty good. He does death matches. He likes sticking people with needles and doing all kinds of stuff. But I think a hardcore match would be good enough. I think you could teach him a thing or two going around the ring. He's a really great.
Look, say when, brother.
Yeah, he's a really great guy. He's a good friend of mine. So he's doing his thing and making great with his career. He's doing really good. Um, he said he's also traditionally trained. So there you go.
Look, hey, we can take care of this any way you want to, Brian. I might even have to put this title on the line. I've got a couple I could put on the line. Look, I need a
Ooh-wee.
challenge. I need a challenge, Scott.
Oh man, oh man, I love it. I love it. So, I mean, with your name, it's got to be easy to get booked, especially in the South. Have you ever had any problems getting bookings? I'm pretty sure you're turning down more bookings than you're accepting.
Oh, look, some people can't handle the Golden Child, Evan Golden, man. Some people are like, this is too hot, high octane for my show. So, believe it or not, there's a couple of people I've had to do some deep negotiating with, like, do you want me or not? But most of the time, it's been great, man. I try to wrestle whoever's willing to welcome me in and
There you go.
let me do my
There you
thing.
go. I love that.
Most of the
So,
time, it goes well. So.
so who would you say is the biggest name that you've wrestled to date?
Well, fortunately, I've had a couple that are almost on the same level. There's a few that I'm like, wow, this is one of the biggest matches I've ever had. I'd say, statistically speaking, the biggest match I've ever had is with Heath Slater, former WWE superstar. And actually, we had this title on the line, so it was a very big match for me. And I would say that that's the biggest one I've had. So
We're and guess what, folks? You know my show. We're going to be watching Evan Golden versus Heath Slater later on in the show with Evan, and he could tell us all about how he was feeling during that match.
oh yeah,
So,
I'll do it, man.
There you go. I love it. So you had a match with Kerry Morton here recently, not too long ago,
Right.
in NWA. Tell us about that one.
Yeah, I had a match with Kerry. The NWA World's Junior Heavyweight Championship was on the line. My entire life, I've actually known Kerry. I would want to say I met Kerry when I was probably at least a toddler. I'm sure we were in the same room sooner than that. But I became friends with Kerry at a very young age, and as we got older and older, our friendship sort of soured. And I made it my business to tell the National Wrestling Alliance and Kerry that the world's junior heavyweight title does not need to be over his shoulder because he doesn't deserve it. And I think that, you know, people are able to see now more than ever that since he's not been able to regain that title, that maybe it could have been a fluke to begin with.
Oh,
I mean, look, and
he does
and
listen to my show. He's been on a few times, so I'm pretty sure he'd love to hear that.
well, you can have him back on, and you can ask him how his reign's going, and he'll say it's not going because it's over. And I'd feel sorry for him, except I don't, because I was this close to being champion, and I'm very disappointed in myself. But at the same time, it was a hell of a match, and I'm proud of myself for going toe to toe with him in the middle of his reign because I'll give him this. He had the title for a very long amount of time. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Brian said, hit me up afterwards. Let's talk business. He wants that match really bad. My dad wants to know who's number one on your list. Who is I know Kerry, you was talking about Kerry, but who's your number one on your list that you want to fight, or somebody you haven't fought that you would love to fight?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that I would love to square away with. Colby Carino is somebody that I for a long time wanted to be in the ring with, and there's actually, breaking news. I'll announce it on the show. We were actually this close to having a match, and it just didn't come together. But Colby, I want my match, so
Right.
I'm not going to forget about that. He's definitely one that I would like to square away with. So
Mary, we got another hater. Mary said, "Oh, Goldilocks, you're so fun." Not.
Oh, there you go. Thank you, Mary. I don't like being called Goldilocks live on the program, by the way. It's like my least favorite thing ever. I bet she's from Ohio too, I'd say. God.
She said hi to me though. How you doing, Mary? Welcome.
Oh yeah, let's be
back.
nice to Scott. Yeah, let's not treat me with no respect. It's fine, Scott. It's gonna be okay. Not everybody. I've never met a hater doing better than me. So
There you go. That's what I love about professional wrestling. They hate you because you got all the bling over your shoulder.
Yeah, this is heavy. This is like 10 pounds on my shoulder. Now I've got people in here yelling at me. Everybody, calm down. All right, chill
Right.
out.
Speaking of 10 pounds, since you mentioned it, do you think there's a time in the future where you might go after the 10 pounds of gold?
Oh, it's absolutely inevitable. With the work that I'm doing on the NWA territories right now, I think I'm somebody that is absolutely a prospect to be in the running for such a prestigious championship, and I will get my shot. The thing about that title in particular, though, it's the World's Heavyweight Championship. It could be next year, it could be this year, or it could be 10 years from now. You
Now,
never
for those
know.
of you that are watching that don't know, the 10 pounds of gold is the NWA World Heavyweight title. So,
Yes.
yeah, very prestigious
Yeah.
belt right there, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Now, Christine Saucy Girl said, being basically clueless when it comes to independent wrestling, how and where do I find it to watch, and who besides Evan do I look for? Saucy Girl, pick a wrestler out there from Facebook, go on YouTube, and you'll be watching independent wrestling in no time. There are thousands of independent wrestlers and hundreds of, if not thousands, of independent places out there.
Yeah, that's true,
So-
but they're not on my level, so you might as
That's
well just go
right,
ahead and
that's
look up
right.
Evan Golden while you're at it.
There you go. You've got to tell me something about SOM. At one time, were you not the SOM hybrid champion?
I was. So I basically showed up to SOM in summer 2023 and immediately won the SOM Hybrid Championship. I basically put that title on the map and made it what it is today. And I had it for half a year. It was a very long run. And yeah, it was definitely a run that I'm very proud of. And now anybody who has their hands on the Hybrid Championship can think that that is the title that Evan Golden once held. So
There you go. And you won that in a fatal 4-way, which is not easy to do.
right, right. Yeah, it was definitely Blade Gibson considered this a backstab, but Blade needs to realize that if he could just get a little bit bigger in his britches, maybe he could be on my level, and maybe this is something that we could revisit. But at the time, Blade just wasn't ready to
Right.
be in the ring with me, and that's what happened. And I was
Blade Gibson is phenomenal. He is what I
He's
call a
great.
cruiserweight, and he is phenomenal in wrestling. I interviewed him also, not to name drop, but I love the kid, and he is going places. But like you said, and many cruiserweights are told this, they gotta bulk up a little bit to be on other people's levels in the game. I understand what you're saying, man.
Yeah.
Ashley said Evan is the best. You got a winner finally.
Finally, it's about time. Well, look, I mean, I am, and it's about time someone realized it.
There you go. Christine Saucy Girl said, my problem is I don't know any to look for. Christine, right after the show, since you're a friend on my friends list, I will hit you up and give you some places to go without a doubt, ma'am. You will be neck deep in independent wrestling 5 minutes after we start talking, okay? Oh, Mary said, Blade is better than you. Oh, no.
Well, that's adorable. I think that's one of the most precious things I've ever heard. Tell Blade to lift a couple of weights, maybe grow a little bit. Maybe they'll let him on the roller coasters at Carowinds if he could just grow a couple of inches. And yeah, maybe one day he will, also 10 years from now, get a shot at the Beside the Ring championship. Yeah.
KC said she's not a fan of Blade.
Well, Blade's no good. And that's what's wrong here. So
Oh, okay, I got you without a doubt. So let's hit our second segment of the show. This is awesome. You did lose to Kerry Morton, but the promo you did for this match, I've watched it like 15 times already. It's that good. It's a little over 2 minutes long. It's a little long, but
Yeah.
it shows you exactly who Evan Golden is. You guys check this out.
Hey, come on in, Kerry Morton. It's me, the Golden Child, Evan Golden. And I know what you're saying. Evan, what are these gorgeous whereabouts that you're surrounding yourself with today? Well, you see, Kerry, unlike you, I don't spend my time in the middle of barns and outhouses hiding behind my championship like you do. No, I spend my time here in my luxurious backyard here in Asheville, North Carolina, training and asking the burning question that keeps me up at night. And that is why, Kerry? Why on God's green earth are you NWA Junior Heavyweight Champion of the world? After all, Kerry, we know that you couldn't hold a tiny candlestick to Chavo Guerrero Sr., Les Thornton, Nelson Royal. You couldn't sniff Danny Hodges' jock if it was sitting right in front of your face. So, Kerry, now that we've established that Billy Corgan should bend you over and paddle you 20 spankings for being such a disappointing champion, I think we should talk about the solution to this issue. I think we should talk about a champion that wouldn't trip over his laces the way you do. And that's me, the Golden Child, Evan Golden, the new and future NWA Junior Heavyweight Champion. You see, Kerry Morton, next week, you and I go one-on-one finally in a match 15 years in the making. The Golden Wrestling family knows that the NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship belongs over my shoulder. And now, obviously, you pulled your strings to make this a non-title match, and I would have done the same thing too, because I wouldn't want to lose a belt to me neither. So, Kerry, next week, when I pin you, 1, 2, 3, I want you to think to yourself, am I the champion that the National Wrestling Alliance deserves? Am I the champion that Evan Golden would be? Would I, like Evan, take this belt from Mountain City to Miami, to Melbourne, to Morocco? Or would I go back to what I do best and be Kerry Morton, the disappointing champion who couldn't hold a candle to 24 karat, the golden child, Evan Golden?
Now, I'm going to tell you, my best line in that whole thing was when you said he couldn't smell his jockstrap. I died when I heard that. I was like, "Oh yes, what a great line! That was great." But
Thank
yeah,
you.
so you like you said, you are from North Carolina, and they were hit recently with a really bad storm when we had the big storm
Yeah.
a few months ago. Was your home damaged in any way, or?
Unfortunately, Scott, my home was not damaged, man. But I was in a very peculiar situation. While the hurricane was happening, I was in West Virginia wrestling, so I wasn't even here for the storm. But
Okay,
the problem
okay,
with that is I was not able to come back down here for a very long time.
right.
But the good news is when I finally got to get back down here and check in on everybody, uh, our house had no damage. But Asheville is definitely not the same place it used to
Oh,
be, and there's unfortunately like a lot of rebuilding to do. But that was the most peculiar part about the hurricane is I wasn't even here, and all I could do is watch it on the news at this hotel room in West Virginia, and it was like
oh
the
man,
just
I bet you were. I bet you were praying your home wasn't touched. I'm glad to hear your home
yeah,
wasn't. There are a lot of people out there who were devastated by it. And I had
yeah.
to ask because, I saw you say this, and you're on the waterfront, and you're like, my home here, and I was like, oh, Asheville, that's the one. That's the one that got
Yeah,
you guys got
yeah.
hit the hardest.
Yeah, the
So,
Asheville is definitely there's a lot of places that are unrecognizable. I do believe though with the right support and the right, I even thought about maybe even like running a show or so. I've never ran a
right.
show in my life,
See
but I
that
was like,
that's what I love about professional wrestling, man. When something
yeah,
happens to somebody in the family, or something happens in our communities, we all come together. I bet you, if you were to pull a show together, it would take no time. If you were to
yeah.
give the money to the people of Asheville, I'm take my money, please.
Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
I would love to, man. I would love to put this together because, it is sad to see the places that I grew up around just not there anymore. But I do know, everybody that I know personally is okay, thank heavens. And I think the next step now is rebuilding, brother. And we're going to do it. We're going
right.
to be a new Asheville. And however we get there, it's going to take a lot of time, but uh, yeah, but I'll tell you, it was just an unfortunate thing, especially to be in West Virginia. West Virginia is like my least favorite place on the planet. So, I was definitely being tortured no
A
matter
lot of
what.
mountains up in West Virginia.
Well, I'm glad no cannibals found me because I thought that could happen at some point. I don't feel safe in West Virginia. I will never go back.
Somehow
Not
I
going
don't
back.
think that's true. Somehow I just
Maybe
got
I'll
an
go.
inkling that if somebody called you and said, "Hey, I want to fight you for my championship," I'm pretty sure you wouldn't say no.
I'll think
There
about it.
you go. There you go. There you go. Without a doubt, man. I love it. So, yeah. And by the way, when we were talking back when you were doing your promo and you were talking to Carrie, you had
Yeah,
mentioned I've known you for the better part of 15 years. What
right.
people probably don't realize is that your daddy probably knew his daddy really
Yeah.
well.
Oh, that's exactly what happened. My father and Ricky Morton had a very long feud at 25, 30 years. As soon as my dad started, which was like 1990, they immediately started going at it, and all the way up to the point where I was born, they were still getting into it. But what was crazy is me and Carrie, despite their rivalry, we ended up being very close friends. And that's kind of what buried the hatchet between them. It's like, well, our kids are friends. What are we going to hate each other, So,
Right.
but, then, Carrie decided to go over my head and snip my balls off from behind my back. And that's exactly what probably happened to Ricky and my dad to begin with, is Ricky
Right.
backstabbed him because, you can't trust a Morton is what I was raised to
Right.
no, and that was the truth. And Carrie, I hope Carrie, if you're watching this, you should know that I was this close to being champion, and I meant every word that we just relived. I truthfully very much believe he should have never been champion. And if this was the perfect world, if things would have gone my way, I'd be sitting right here with the world's junior heavyweight title. And I've got some gold on me, but not that for sure. So
So one more question, then we're going to get to watching you wrestle, which
Sweet.
is a great match. Tag team wrestling.
Yeah.
I heard through the grapevine that you used to be a part of a really cool tag team.
I did. I've been a part of a couple of tag teams that I'm proud of. The tag team that I would want to say most people might know me for is the Gen 3 Express with
Okay.
KC Kazana. That's the team that like we won the East Tennessee tag titles at SOM. We're back together again, so we're gonna try to go after them again. That is the team that is probably my strongest team. I've also teamed with Easy Money, which is great because it's almost like a trainer-student team, you
Right.
know. So that's awesome. But yeah, I'm a big fan of tag team wrestling and being a part of it. My dad was a tag team wrestler for a better part of his whole career, almost. You
Right.
know, just taking tag titles and stuff. So I'm definitely trying to really take that by storm. Michael Gabriel is my most notable NWA tag team partner. People watching the show might be familiar with the Guiding Light.
Yes.
That is myself and Michael Gabriel. And we actually won a couple of tag titles in our day. And yeah, it was cool. Me and Michael Gabriel, we won some tag gold, and we got to represent NWA JCP, which is awesome. So
I love it. I
yeah.
love it. So I just said I was going to ask one question, but there's so many
No,
questions I
there's
could
so much
ask
to
you
talk
here,
about.
right? So does your dad still wrestle? I have to ask this before I get to the next question.
Right. So my dad is he's kind of at a point right now. He's not retired, but he would come back if something big came along. So he's definitely not finished, but he's not active at the
The
same
wheels
time.
are turning because you and Carrie are going at it.
Yeah, he might get
Daddy
the
and
bug, man. He might get
ooh,
the
could we see a tag team match down the road somewhere with you and your dad versus Carrie and his dad?
Oh, absolutely. That's something that's absolutely on the table. I mean, all it takes is for someone to put it together, and you have the Goldens and the Mortons in the ring, and that's what's gonna happen. So
Oh man, I bet I'm just gonna throw it out there because I know he's watching because he talked a little while ago. That would be a perfect match for SOM. Just saying.
it would be great. And Eddie Golden is actually making his SOM debut soon. So it could come, it could happen. All the people have to do is be in the right places at the right time. And this absolutely could happen. There was actually a talk of a Golden Kazana tag match, myself and my father versus Joe and KC Kazana.
That
But
would be good too.
it would be good. It's something that could happen. Me and KC are very good friends right now, and I don't ever foresee us not getting along in our days. So, but we could. It's always a match that we could do for fun. Who knows?
There you go. Well, I'm going to hit this commercial for one of my sponsors, and then when we get out of it, we're going to watch Evan Golden wrestle.
It
Here we
is your
go.
lucky day, folks. This is your day.
There you go.
This is 4-Foot Batman. And 4-Foot Batman knows the home of great collectibles at awesome prices. Retro toys and collectibles, movie memorabilia, Magic the Gathering cards, wrestling figures, Hot Wheels, the always popular Funko Pops, and much, much more. He knows the Hall of Collectibles is located in downtown Cherryville, North Carolina, at 400 East Main Street. Give them a call today, 980-989-5181. Retro Toys and Collectibles, the heavyweight champion in collecting.
There we go. If you go to Retro Toys and Collectibles and you go in there, Cotton is the owner. If you collect, and I do mean anything, if you collect anything, all you've got to do is tell Cotton if he don't have it, he will find it. Retro
Hey,
Toys
I
and
love
Collectibles.
retro collectibles. I'll tell you that much.
There you go. I imagine you've got a few collectibles probably right behind you from what I'm seeing
Oh,
in
yeah.
wrestling.
Yeah, for sure, man.
So give me the rundown before I hit play over here of how this came about with you and Heath Slater meeting up.
So here's what happened, and again, I hate to dish the dirt here on the show, but everybody hates Evan apparently. Beside the Ring Wrestling decided to suspend me. Their world champion. They wanted to suspend me for bad behavior and for cheating, which is precious because I didn't do anything wrong. So they decided to suspend me, and in exchange for my bad behavior, they wanted me to defend my title against a well-known former WWE star, TNA roster member. I mean, they wanted me to have a real challenge. They were so mad at my behavior. And again, I'll say this again: I didn't do anything wrong. But
Right.
apparently, I'm such a bad person that they were like, no, Evan, you are going to be in the ring with your biggest challenge yet, Heath Slater, and that's what you get for disrespecting us. So they forced me with contractual obligation, apparently, even though I've not ever seen this fine print, to defend this title, my championship against Heath. And that's exactly what we're witnessing here. We had a packed out crowd here in Elizabethton, Tennessee.
But that's
And
not Heath Slater. That's Buff Bagwell. How did
yeah.
he get involved in this?
Well, you know, they got to have Buff the Stuff Bagwell at ringside as a special enforcer because they were so mad at me. They didn't want me. This is what they said: Evan, we don't want you to cheat, quote unquote. So we're going to get the most jacked up, well known person we know, Buff Bagwell, and put him at ringside so you can't have any of your shenanigans. And then, you know, speaking of easy money, we're about to see him in just a moment. They knew that he would be walking me out to the ring. So what did they
Right.
do? They literally handcuff him to ringside so he can't do anything. So they've got Buff Bagwell hovering my match, Easy Money, my trainer and best friend ever, handcuffed to the ring, all because they don't like the way I wrestle. That's what happened.
So basically, beside the ring, stack the deck against you.
Oh yeah, they stacked the deck against me because they didn't like the way I do business. They didn't like the way that I bend the rules, which I've never done a day in my life. I've never cheated a day
Right.
in my life. So,
Right. It's not
it's
not
rude.
breaking the rules if you don't get caught, right?
Exactly. You know, my philosophy is if you want to stay champion, you've got to do whatever you can do to keep it over your shoulder. And if I have to, you know, yeah, if I have to break a couple of people over to keep this over my shoulder, then what's the problem? You know, who cares if the rules are bent a little bit? And obviously, you know, they should be thanking me for even showing up because, as you can see here, everybody hates me in Elizabeth.
Right.
And apparently, I thank God security was by my side because everybody was trying to, you know, shoo me out of the building, and I'm their champion, so that's no good.
So
So.
they literally handcuffed your trainer to the ring.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They couldn't bear the idea that he might just be able to help me out a little bit, which again, I don't see anything wrong with that. But yeah, that's literally an ECW legend, and they wanted to handcuff him to the post like he's a dog, like he's a piece of
Wow.
meat. So yeah, that's the
Wow.
thanks I get.
Pretty good crowd there beside the ring. A lot of kids. I love
Yeah,
that.
I'll compliment them. They sold out the place. I'm sure, you know, it's when you have a champion like me, it's easy to do. But I mean, you know, I'm sure they also did their fair share of advertising. And Elizabethton was electric here this night. We're at Happy Valley High School, and look, I'll give it to him. He's got a great response. I'm not
Right.
oblivious to the fact of what he's done to this business, and he's getting a great reception. You know, so that
He usually does. Being a WWE star at one time, he
yeah.
really, he's going to get a good reception.
Yeah.
But I love this that he did go and slap hands all the way down. That's pretty cool. But ran your trainer out. Now he's after you.
See, that's just, can you see anything more unprofessional than that? Let me tell you, rude is what that is. Rude.
Right.
He couldn't just get
You
in the
haven't
ring
even
and
you
be
haven't
a
even
man.
got off your jacket, the belt, anything. And he's already trying to attack you, man. I see it. I see it.
Yeah, that's not cool. You don't do that to somebody, okay? I mean, look, I'll tell you this. I was very, very professional. I didn't cuss him out. I didn't yell at him.
Right.
I was on my best behavior, and he decided to charge me because, you know, everybody wants the shot at beside the ring championship, but he'd think he would know that you only get your shot when the bell rings. I don't know what he was thinking there. So
Without a doubt. I love the jacket, man. Where did you get the jacket? That is pretty cool.
Thank you, man. The jacket's custom made. They also disrespected me. They wouldn't turn the lights off. That jacket actually illuminates. It's got LED lights in it, but they were like, "No, Evan, we're not going to do what you want because we don't like you." Beside the
Oh,
ring
I do see
wrestling-
the illuminations. I do see it.
Yeah,
Okay.
beside the ring wrestling disrespects me like no other. They treat me like an animal, even though I'm their champion. And instead, they were just like, "No, we're not going to give you a special entrance, but we will, give Heath a security escort to the ring and make sure that he's given whatever he wants." I'm sure Heath had only red M&Ms in his bowl, so
Boy, he does
whatever.
not want to be handcuffed. Look at it. He's fighting. I like it. I like it.
Well, look, nobody First of all, I will go to the grave knowing that they handcuffed him way too tight, and that's what I was trying to tell him here. That's too tight. That's my best friend ever. He's basically my uncle, and they've handcuffed us. Scott, I don't know if you've ever been handcuffed, but it hurts. Okay, especially when you get squeezed like that.
Right.
This wasn't the kind of handcuffing people like to do. This is the ouch
Right.
that hurts. Like, please have mercy handcuff. So.
I can see your concern. You're over there protecting him. I can see it.
Yeah, well, they squeezed his wrist like I don't even know how he had a pulse by the end of the match.
So did you get some? I know you guys are concerned about him being, put in handcuffs, but you guys talked there for a second. Was that strategy, or was that just, hey, I'm sorry this happened to you?
Yeah, no strategy. There's a little strategy in a minute, and I'll be sure to point that
Okay.
out to you for the watch along. But that right there was
Okay.
just me saying, like, are you okay? And he was like, no, I'm not. But this hurts. It's too tight. And I think
And why would they handcuff him to Heath Slater's side of the ring and not yours?
exactly. Well, you can't fix stupid, but
I love
guess.
that. You can't fake stupid.
Well, I mean, look at this. I mean, it's like they didn't even think it through. Buff Bagwell's hovering over him like he's some sort of
Right.
criminal. I mean, if they were so worried about him, they should have just arrested him because they're treating him
Why
like
didn't they just ban him from ringside? I mean,
yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that's why
instead they
didn't
wanted
ban
to
him.
bring him out and embarrass him.
That's what I'm saying. Look, they got a security guy breathing over his shoulder. They've put my title on the side of the ring like it's not worth. They should have put it on a pillow or a podium. I'll tell you that much.
Right.
And Buff Bagwell's over there yelling at me like I'm not something to worry about, and it bothered me very much. And here's Heath. He's obviously he had a lot of energy. He wanted this title, but yeah,
Right.
anybody watching this would tell you, Scott, this is not fair to me.
Right. Without a doubt, man. This is, I mean, I have to admit, and usually I won't admit something like this, but the deck is stacked against you.
Oh yeah.
Enforcer, handcuffed, guy outside the ring. I mean, next thing you know, the referee might turn on you. I don't know what to expect here.
I'm sure the referee probably had some money in his back pocket from what they were trying to get him to do to me. And by the way, just a moment ago, that was our little bit of strategy. I walked up
Okay.
to Easy, and he was like, just told me what to do. And he said, stay on him. And I can't stay on him when Buff Bagwell's standing there yelling at me, and I'm getting my hair pulled by Heath. That's not fair.
I love that. Buff is looking pretty good, though. I know you don't like him, but he's looking pretty good out there.
No, he looks great, but I don't like Buff, and I have no reason to be disrespected by Buff. I mean, I was nothing but respectful to him, and now I'm starting to wonder if Buff wants a shot at this next. And
I mean,
just look
this
at
is
it.
almost like two legends against you. I mean,
Yeah.
that should say something about you, that they think it takes two legends to beat you.
Yeah, and then they had to take another one and handcuff him. I mean,
Right,
everybody
right.
everybody wants to be in the ring with Evan Golden, but this is mutiny. And look at this guy. Look, he thinks he can give me the headlock takeover and gloat about it. Like I was just about to kip up out of there, and now he's he's playing rough with me.
Right?
Look at this.
He's trying to break your arm, man.
Look, man, he's twisting it like my rotator cuff still hurts. By the way,
Now he's going after the shoulder.
you don't do that. You just don't do that. All right. I know this is professional wrestling, and I know this is a combat contact sport. But I mean, my rotator cuff stings right now because of this guy. Look at this. Let's just hound the space. Put me up against the ropes. I can't breathe.
I thought he was a good guy. What is he doing hanging you over the ropes? That's not right.
And I got Buff
Official-
Bagwell breathing down my back. I got the referee who was probably paid off telling me to stop. I'm not doing anything wrong.
Oh, there you go.
There it is. See, that's how the game is played. For those watching the show, take notes, because if you want to be a success in professional wrestling, just take a good look. You shoot them off like that, and then you just, well, we don't talk about
It
that
didn't work
part.
out too well after that.
Well, that was an accident. I had my guard down, okay, and I'm a little stunned right here.
A little, okay.
Yeah, I had to take a breather. I couldn't see where I was, so I wanted. And look,
Time out.
time out, man. Look, I'm the champ. I deserve 5 minutes.
Right, right. I mean, he did cheat. He has been cheating. I mean, and then to take you out of the ring like that. I mean,
Oh yeah, no. Let's just be, let's take me out of the ring and not give me my break. Now Buff Bagwell's, jabber jawing like he's what. Here's what I gotta say: if Buff had so much to say, he should have gotten in the ring with me and done something about it. That's all I'm gonna say.
I mean, a real referee after the second or third time, which this has been like 4 or 5 times already, of him interfering in the match, he should have been thrown to the back. He should have been thrown out.
Well, look, so right here, I just went to go back to my private dressing room, and the referee has no consideration for
Look
this.
at them crumb snatchers trying to get in your dressing room, man. Did you see that?
Yeah,
man
yeah,
trying to
I
climb
know,
over?
man. And take a look at this. Where's the ref? No count out. No, like, hey, Heath Slater,
Right?
stop this. I mean, this is ridiculous.
Closed fists.
Closed fists.
Look
And
at
look how
that.
hard he's hit me. I can't even barely stay on my feet.
A knee.
Totally unfair. No.
Wow.
And look, the camera guy's even filming this. Like, oh, I'm gonna film. There's nothing wrong with this. I'm gonna get up close for this action.
This is, ladies and gentlemen, this is not a match where anything goes. This is just a one-on-one, and this has been 30 seconds out of the ring now. Where's the ref?
Oh, well, he's probably standing over there counting his check. He's probably actually right now, since you can't see him right yet, he's probably on his way to the bank, cashing.
I
his
know
money.
you got beat down, but those two people that you sat by, that was their golden moment. They look kind of elderly. One does on the left. That was probably his golden moment of his whole life.
Well, he looked pretty old. I'm sure, those are his last final moments. I'm sure that was his final hurrah, as being with.
The ref finally decides to show up and start counting. How convenient.
Yeah, he just got back from the
When
bank.
you're winning, that's when the ref shows up. I saw that.
Oh yeah.
Look at this. Now the ref wants to guide everybody to the ring. Okay, I got you. Ooh,
Well,
he picked up
I'm
a pail. That's a disqualification.
it's a disqualification, and I want you people to know the only reason that there's no disqualification is because Heath used his WWE payday to get this ref paid off. What else could
I
be going
believe
on
it.
here?
I believe it. I mean, you guys are fighting all over the arena, and the ref's just following you like. Oh my
Look, what was he
goodness.
doing? He's counting. What's he counting about? He's not doing the count out for the match, is he?
Right?
I mean, what are we, near the ring? I mean, and look,
Oh,
these
look at these crumb snatchers down there moving things. I mean, look.
They can't. Everybody's trying to trying to touch Evan Golden. If you could poke Evan Golden, you might as well never wash your hand again.
Right. They might get some of the greatness rubbed off on them.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you one thing. There's no greatness around here. These people are the biggest group of rednecks I've ever been a part of. I mean, take a look at these guys. They love what's going on here, and what they should be doing is chanting my name. All right,
Right.
and they didn't. They decided to, side for Heath. But I'm the one here with the muscle. All right, I'm the one here.
Right.
Take a look at this forearm.
Oh, yes. Nailed it.
Yeah, but it's like I always say, all these people they just overlooked that.
Oh, the
No,
ref almost touched you.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. Well, I'm sure that he was trying to, because obviously the odds are stacked.
Oh, big right hand. Ref, right in front of the ref. A closed fist. Ref does
Closed
nothing. Wow. Okay.
It was
Oh.
as closed as Blockbuster, Scott.
Right? Exactly. I love that. Closed as Blockbuster.
Look at this, by the way. I think that was just a low blow. Are we not? I'm pretty sure that's
Right?
what that was.
What is this ref doing? Why isn't he pulling him off of you? I don't get that. I really
You would
don't.
never guess that this referee is an Ohio Valley Wrestling certified referee. That
Wow.
actually gives me more. And look at this. Let's just try to kill
He's
Evan
trying to
Golden.
kill you. Where's this ref?
Well, he's probably taking a bathroom break. And look at this. I mean, so I finally was like, I'm gonna chop the hell out of Heath here because I mean, he just tried to
And,
drop
and
it
now
on
the
my head.
referee's walking up telling you, why is it always when you get the advantage, he's coming up and pointing toward the ring?
Oh, he's like, no. Oh yeah, Evan, let's get this back in the ring. But when he's
See,
whipping
look,
it all over the
no,
place, it's
again,
fine.
look. These crumb snatchers are trying to catch him. Look at this.
Well, I wish I could have dropped him and they didn't catch him. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, that would.
But yeah,
I
look
mean,
at this. So I'm just trying to get out of here. At this point, I'm like, hold on. Obviously.
Wait a minute. Is that security moving you down?
Oh yeah, well, half the people of Elizabethton have already pushed me around like I'm nothing. Security's not done a thing about it.
Look at this. Security actually escorted you back down to the floor. I mean,
well, I'm glad that he could
where's
play
he
pretend.
taking you?
Oh yeah, the dark halls of Happy Valley
Oh.
High School.
That is so wrong.
Well, I'm sure the security
And the
guard got his
referee
costume.
knelt down and was scolding you instead of him. What's
Yeah,
up with that?
no. These are frauds. I'm sure the security guy got his costume from Party City. He's over there going to get his money from his gimmick table. And now look at this. This is such a disqualification.
What? Oh, no, not. Oh, paper
Yeah.
cut. Oh,
Have you ever had a paper cut on your lip, Scott? That's what I had.
oh. And no,
Oh, yeah.
no disqualification all the way through this. This is amazing.
Yeah,
we need to
it's
go. I might get on my phone after we get off of here. I might have to call some people about this referee. This referee's horrible.
Well, he's no good. And by the way, Easy Money's still completely handcuffed to ringside. He can't do
Handcuffed to the
nothing.
ring. And Buff Bagwell's lurking somewhere. You know he's over there somewhere.
Oh yeah.
See, look at there's your guy.
Yep.
Oh man, he's trying to tease him.
Well, check this out. This is how you take care of business. folks.
Oh yes. Okay.
You take
okay.
Heath Slater, you throw him in the post, and you give him a little gun show.
Oh, look at that pose. That was $1 million pose right there.
Yeah, that's right. And look at this.
Cameras should have been shuddering like crazy when that.
I
pose
know, but
went
you
on.
see that, in Elizabeth, then they probably only have flip phones and fax machines. So
The old Polaroid phones.
yeah, I think And look, I mean, everybody's clamoring to see me up close, but here's the thing: I can't.
Right.
There's no time for glory. I've got to get in here and beat Heath.
Oh,
A lot
nice
of-
stomp.
Well, look, here's the thing: the hand stop. The referee was like, "No, that's not legal." I told him everything we've done for the past 10 minutes hasn't been legal. I'm gonna
Right.
stomp his fingers. I mean, look, I'm gonna gouge his eyes. If this is anything goes, that's
Look,
what
you
he
saw
gets.
something in his nose. I think you're helping him out. I think he had a booger in his nose at this point.
Well, I'm sure he's a snot-nosed punk, so
I love that.
he had a
love
boogie
that.
as green as my gear in this match.
Now,
And
now
then,
you're. Why is the ref counting? What are you doing?
well, yeah, let's not count the whole 15 minutes we've been in the middle of this redneck show here in Elizabeth.
Right. Finally, he starts becoming a referee.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I gave him a good old buckle here, and this is how you take care of business. You just got to stay on the throat. He wanted to talk all this smack before the match. I'm going to shut him up.
Right.
Hey, look at this.
That's a quick way, right? Oh,
Easy
and
Money
look
got a little
look where
tired.
he
He wanted-
landed. Oh, the poor guy. Look at that. Oh, and look, and all you're doing is telling the referee about all his wrongdoings over there, probably. And
What am
he's
I?
getting
Well,
mad.
yeah, what am I not going to talk about it?
Right?
Yeah, I got to gouge the eyes a little bit. Look, again, and I'm not.
And that's the only time the referee does his job is when you're doing something.
Yeah, Buff Bagwell's blown away. He had no idea that Evan Golden had this much to bring to the table. Take a look at this. So
Oh.
Heath Slater starts to get back up on me a little bit, but take a look at this. Scott.
Close
You're not ready
fist.
for this.
Referee didn't say nothing again. But if you do it, I guarantee you he starts to count.
Well, that's okay. Take a look at this pitch perfect golden plex right here.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Well, that's what you get, when you disrespect Evan and throw me around the ring like I'm nothing. But he did kick out. He kicked out.
What does Buff talk? Why is he even talking? He's just a man on the outside making sure that you don't do anything. And apparently he hasn't gotten involved, so apparently you haven't done anything wrong. So why is the ref all over you all the time? I just don't get it.
Oh, I think Buff definitely was there to support Heath, which is a shame.
I
because
think he
this
was
is,
scared. I think he was scared, Evan. That's what I think.
Well, if I would have given the golden plex to Buff Bagwell, I think it's safe to say that, he wouldn't be standing anymore.
There,
So,
another closed fist. Uh-oh.
Ooh, close kick out there. Here it is, right here. Ooh,
Oh,
that
lights out.
clothesline was so hard my tape flew off.
Oh, that was 3, ref. That was 3. Come
No, it
on.
was 3. Look, and look, notice I've got like 10 people surrounding the ring trying to say, "Oh no, 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 that was 2." Nobody wants to. I've obviously been conspired against, Scott.
I can see. I can see beside the ring does not like you at all. They are just all against you.
Well, I mean, I took his head off. It was a 3 count. You had the ring announcer, Buff Bagwell, 3 camera girls at ringside. No, 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 that was 2. Literally, look at this. I mean, now they're disrespecting Uncle Easy again.
Right. If you guys want to see any more of this disrespect, come on out to beside the ring. You can see great audience, great atmosphere, not a bad seat in the house. Come out and check them out because, you know, we all want to see them hate on Evan Golden because that's exactly what they're doing here.
Well, here's the thing. There's been talk of a rematch at Beside the Ring, and I'm not going to let it happen. He does not deserve to be in the ring with me again after this disrespect. Now, take a look at this. I just told the Elizabethan crowd what I thought of him. You know, a lot of
Another
them are
closed
toothless.
fist, nothing said. Another closed fist, nothing said. How
Oh, yeah,
many?
look, that took me off my feet. And now look at this.
Oh,
Total disrespect.
pulling hair. I mean, come on.
He's not even trying to hide it. But don't worry. Here we go. Right here, baby. Here it is. It's time for the Golden Hour moonsault. Now, a lot of people who may not be familiar with Evan Golden, I have the highest moonsault in the business. And what I'm about to do right here is show Heath exactly what he's been messing with. So take a good look. Take notes. And if I remember correctly, I think this went well. So
Okay, here we go. Oh,
good top rope post
top
for the
rope,
people.
top rope. Referee, of course, counting because it's only you doing something.
Oh, you know what? This might be doctored footage. I'm pretty sure I hit him with that.
I bet you did. It's all Buff. See, Buff is on there talking. I bet it was doctored footage.
Yeah, I'm sure Buff got on his laptop
What's
and did
he
some
nodding his
editing.
head for like he did something?
Yeah.
Oh, looky here. Marcus Eric said he's taking notes. Another
Marcus, just
great
don't,
wrestler.
just make sure you hit the moonsault when you do yours. Oh, God.
Right. Ooh, big knee. Oh,
Yeah, that took me off my feet. I'll tell you this, Heath Slater, he does a lot
he's
of offense
tough.
with
He
his,
is tough. I have to admit.
He's tall too, so his offense with his legs are real tough. I missed the clothesline on that. I was trying to give him another one of those flying lines, but look at this. Bam.
Now the referee wants to count. Okay, I got you.
But he can't kick
But
out.
he can't finish it. Now
Can't
that's a
finish
2
me
count,
off.
ref. That's what a 2 count looks like. You don't go 1, 2, and then hold the hand for a second and bring it down.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Fortunately, they didn't have Easy handcuffed too tight because if you take a look at Easy there, I think he's able to maybe get out of these
Oh, look at
cuffs.
that.
Now,
He's starting to weasel his way out of it. Great. Marcus
referee's
Eric said,
down.
missed the moonsault.
No, don't write that down. No, don't miss. Oh, look, Buff Bagwell finally gets what he deserves here. I don't even care about it.
Oh,
Take
look
that
at
bump.
that. Look at that. He's still in handcuffs, and that's how bad Buff Bagwell is. He's still beating him, even though he's in hand. Oh, he got loose now.
He's out.
Here we
He's
go.
free as a bird, baby. Here's the money clip. Take notes, Marcus. Oh, God. Actually, don't take
What?
notes.
Come on, man. Quit doctoring the footage here.
Oh,
What is up with this? This is not what happened.
it's the CGI. Oh, look at this. Oh. About broke my neck and my leg at the same time. I've never
And now,
had a
where's the
zigzag
ref?
like that.
Where's the guy who loves this man? Where is he?
Well, he fell in front of me earlier and got smushed, so now he's, but here we go.
Oh,
Got a
here
back
comes
up ref
another
right
guy.
Here we go.
Of course, counting
No.
fast. I saw that fast count. Just, man.
It was a fast count, but it still wasn't fast enough. Look, he's begging, like, please get me out of the ring. I can't handle him no more. He's basically crying right now, like, please, God.
He is
Get
on
me
his
away
hands and
from
knees in front of the ref. Uh-oh. What's this? He's got the, he's disrespecting the belt now, man.
Oh yeah. Take a look at this here. I am perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with what's happening here. May or may not
Boy,
have been
Heath
some
went
brass
down. You got
knuckles
a
there.
good right hand, man.
Oh yeah. Everybody said it was brass knuckles, but it was just my right hand.
Oh, man. He been using the fist the whole night. And you turn around, use the fist once and knock him out. That
Oh
tells
yeah,
me
it's not.
you are
Apparently,
a
they
lot
like to make
better.
excuses when I do it, but when Heath does it 20 times throughout the match, it's a problem. So no, there was no brass knuckles. No, there was no brass knuckles. And as you can
Right?
see, Evan Golden is still your beside the ring wrestling champion. And that's what happens when you use close fists. That's what happens when you have the entire room
Look,
conspiring against you.
look at all them crumb snatchers out there doing this. What do you wow,
They,
unbelievable.
they don't know how to respect a champion and a real man. Look at this.
Unbelievable.
Look at this. Easy's out there. He's flexing his muscles. He's still jacked. Look at this.
Misty said too much like your dad, slick cheater. I
No,
didn't
no,
see him
no, no.
cheat
I
one
know. Look,
time.
look, Misty. Me and my dad have never cheated a day in our lives. Mary,
Mary, here's Mary
chill
hating
out.
again, saying you're a
Yeah.
cheater. Look at
Do these
this.
people know talent, Scott? I mean, no disrespect to your viewers, but they don't seem all that bright to me.
Right?
Anyways,
That was a
I-
great match, man. Let me get us set back up here. There we go. All right. I mean, you won fair and square. I mean, after all the cheating he was doing during that match, I think you did pretty good. And look at that.
Still the champ,
it's
baby.
where it belongs. That belt is where it belongs.
oh yeah, oh of course.
Without a doubt, man. Everybody is cheering about that match, except for a few. You know, there's
Well,
Sean
he's-
Duffy said the good old golden grin. There
The
you
golden
go.
granddaddy. And let me tell you one thing. The only person who's really not happy about that match is Heath Slater. Heath, I want you to know one thing right now. You are never going to get another shot at this. I'll tell you that much. Beside the Ring will
Right.
be back, but Heath's not going to have nothing to do with me or my championship. And next time I'm on the show, Scott, you better believe that there's not going to be no talk about Heath getting another shot at this.
Right. Ashley said it. The best match yet. There you
Well,
go.
it's one of the best matches I've ever had, and I think that everybody around here knows that I won fair and square, and that's the best part about it.
Missy said, listen, your dad used to cheat my husband, Chris Thunder Anderson.
Oh my God. I didn't know that you were married to him. That's a surprise on the show.
There you go. All right. So we ran a little bit long, but I'm going to jump right to my favorite segment of the show because I know your time is of importance, being a two-time champion and everything. So we're going to skip right to my favorite part of the show, which is name drop. Are you ready for this, sir?
Oh,
gonna
I'm
give
ready. I'm
I'm going
ready.
to give you
man.
5 names of 5 people that I think you know, and you're going to give me the 411. All right? Let's do it.
Hashtag Truth Podcast. Hashtag Truth. Speaking truth. Yeah, we'll never back down. Hashtag Truth. Shine light on the underground. Hashtag Truth. Uncovering what they don't want known. Hashtag Truth.
All right, we are back and we are about to do name drop, and we're going to have a lot of fun because Evan Golden has wrestled all 5 of these people that I'm about to show. So let's start off with this guy. I know you've seen him quite a few times at School of Morton. So Mr. RT3.
Oh my God. I'll tell you a little something about RT3. RT3, you know good and well that you twice couldn't get your hands on this beside the ring title. And you know what? I'll give my respect to RT3. He's one of the greatest opponents I've ever faced against. But a few weeks ago on SOM Revolution, I wasn't able to capture the SOM heavyweight title from him. So RT3, this is not over. I will see you in the ring again. But I want you to know, Roy, you just couldn't beat Evan Golden. And if you could have, that could have been you in the ring with Heath Slater, but it was not. So
There you go. I love it. So let's go to number 2. You wrestled this man, Mr. Corey Sparks.
look, I'm going to tell you one thing right now. Not many people have taken Evan Golden to Suplex City, but Corey Sparks did so in a way that I've never been taken there before. Matter of fact, I still have neck issues thanks to that. So, Corey, you've got a lot of nerve throwing Evan Golden around. I'm not a small person, all right, pal? So, you know what? This isn't over either. And, Corey, I know where you live. I don't want to travel to West Virginia to face you again because I don't want to be caught dead there again. But Corey, this is not over. I'm sure we will be meeting again. And by the way, I don't know if I should mention this on the program, Scott, but Corey is just another person who couldn't take this title.
Oh, wow. So
He
they're
had his
all coming
chance.
and you're knocking them down like dominoes.
He had his chance. He just couldn't do it. He's not on my level. So
All right, the third man on my list is a good friend of mine and a great guy. What do you think about Mr. Amp Dominic?
I have the utmost respect for Amp Dominic, and I will say this. I do not like many people Nobody's better than me, but Amp Dominic is one of the people that paved the way for me to be who I am. Amp Dominic was the man I beat in a blindfold match for the SOM East Tennessee Heavyweight Championship. The only reason that the people got the historic reign that they did out of Evan Golden as East Tennessee champion is I had to square away with Amp Dominic blindfolded, for God's sake. Imagine having a match blindfolded, Scott. It's not
These
easy.
companies just love to stack the deck against you, man.
They do. Well, I might start a TV show, Everybody Hates Evan. But yeah, here's the
Right.
thing. Amp Dominic is a tenacious competitor. He's taken me to the limit, but he's also taught me a lot. So Amp Dominic, you are golden approved.
There you go. Name number 4 on the list, and you've faced this guy at least once, Mr. Johnny Poke.
You know, I'll say something about Johnny right now. For the entirety of last year, for 12 months, I had the rivalry of the century with Johnny Poke. I've squared away with this man more times than I can count. He's given me semi-concussions. He's hurt me very badly. He's pulled muscles. He's twisted me up. He's taken my head off. And Johnny, I'll say this right now. I respect you. And I will, if I see you in person again, I'll shake your hand. But that doesn't mean that what we have is over. Johnny, I'm not going to forget, you threw me off the cage the last time we met each other. But I was the one who took the junior heavyweight championship from you. So Johnny, I have the utmost respect for you. And I don't say that about people often. But you, I would shake your hand. But that also doesn't mean I trust my wallet with him. Actually, where are my keys? Is Johnny been in here? Because I think something's been stolen.
I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it.
But yeah, Johnny is no joke. But Johnny, you better watch your back and watch what you say about me, because even though you've taken me to the limit, this will never be over between us as long as you let it.
There you go. And finally, last but certainly not least, the man you said didn't deserve the East or the Tennessee Junior Heavyweight title, Kerry Morton.
Let me tell you this right now, and I hate to do this live on the air. Kerry, the fact that I'm looking at you before my eyes right now on the screen makes me sick. I about threw up a little bit in my mouth. I don't like you pointing at me. The only reason you should be pointing at me is you should be saying, hey, come here and let's have another match, because we didn't get to settle what we needed to settle, Kerry. You know what? The only reason that I'm not NWA World's Junior Heavyweight Champion right now, pal, is because you just managed to kiss it goodbye right on time. But I'm stronger now. I'm faster now. And I'm more qualified than ever. I've had NWA bleed through my veins this past year. I'm ready to face you again. So I'm going to say this now. As much as I hate to look at him, and as much as I've had to look at him my whole life, which is torture, by the way. I guess that's what it's like to be married, is looking at someone that you eventually don't like at some point for the rest of your life, because that's how I feel. I've had to know Kerry since I was 2 years old,
Right.
and I don't like him. But here he is. He's right before my eyes right now. I think I'm going blind looking at him. I think I've got cataracts because I'm furious that he's even in my view. But Kerry, since your little graphic has been put before me, I'm going to tell you this right now. This isn't over, and we will have another match. And I don't care what you've done thus far. I know how close I was to beating you. But
Right.
maybe one day, when I finally pin Kerry Morton 1, 2, 3, I could shake his hand and show him the respect that I give good old Johnny and Amp. But unfortunately, Scott, I just don't think it's going to happen, because the hatred
There
I
you
feel for him is just, it bleeds deep.
There you go. I'm going to hit this short commercial with another one of my sponsors. And when we get back out of it, Mr. Evan Golden is going to tell us where to find him, all his social media, where he's going to be wrestling in the future and things like that, man.
Well, look, you
did
can
great.
throw that graphic in your recycle bin on your computer. I hate for you to have that on your computer. Kerry might give you a virus.
There you go. I will take that under advisement, sir, without a doubt. All right, L&L Fence Company, and then we'll be right back to wrap it up with Mr. Evan Golden.
L&L Fence Company, specializing in custom fencing from wood and aluminum to chain link. 9331 Albemarle Road in Charlotte, North Carolina. Give them a call today for your free estimate. 704-563-9544. L&L Fence Company, the king in custom fencing.
There you go, L&L Fence Company. Hit them up in Charlotte. Give them a call. Get a free quote. They'll come out, tell you exactly how much you got to pay, and they have really low prices. Go check them out. L&L Fence Company in Charlotte. Now, Mr. Evan Golden, the last question of the night. Oh, well, it might not be the last question of the night, but one of them.
Yeah.
Where can we find you on social media if we want to look up Evan Golden?
Yeah, look up Evan Golden on Instagram, Facebook, X. Check me out on there. That's where I post all my updates for upcoming events and upcoming dates. In interviews like this, I like to share to the page. So yeah, just check out Evan Golden on Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. And you can also find me on Pro Wrestling Tees. That's where you can find the most solid golden merchandise that you could ever
Right.
find. It's on sale now. Pro Wrestling Tees at Evan Golden. And I also just recently joined Threads. I don't understand what Threads is all about. It's the most
Right.
boring app I've ever been on, but I'm on there, so you guys can follow me on there too, I guess. Threads
go.
reminds me of West Virginia. It's boring, so I don't know.
There you go. Oh, man. So where are you going to be wrestling soon?
Well, we've got a few dates coming up. We're going to be at SPCW this Saturday, La Follette, Tennessee, Southern Pride Championship Wrestling, where me and Johnny Polk faced off and had our rivalry. This weekend, we're going to be facing
Nice.
against Xander Storm.
Ooh.
Now, I don't want to make a big deal about it, Scott, but I'm kind of well liked in La Follette. Last time I was there, I got a warm reception from the good people of La Follette.
Okay.
And I will be there, and I will be on my best behavior, and I'm gonna give Xander.
You're
Storm a
always
run
on
for
your
his money.
best behavior. I don't know
Oh
why
yeah,
people
and
talk
that's,
bad
that's,
about you.
that's the thing. These are just rumors that I'm a cheater. you know?
Right. Missy, I missed a lot of stuff when we were doing this. So Missy said, I'm sure your dad is so proud of you. I think you're going to go far.
Thank you.
Um,
That's a nice comment.
Ashley said, Carrie could never be you.
Well, that's because he's a young punk and he has a bad attitude. And he better watch it. All right.
And Missy said, you do like Carrie.
No. What? No, I do not. I do not like Carrie. I loathe Carrie, whatever that means.
There you go, without a doubt. Well, Mr. Evan Golden, I know your time is precious, being a champion and flying all over the world to wrestle, man. It has been a pleasure having you on Hashtag Truth, and I would love to have you on Hashtag in the future. It's just been amazing.
Right, Scott, man, thank you for having me on the show. I will definitely come back on. There's a lot of big things coming up that I'm going to be excited to talk about. So I'll be back on the show, and I'm going to show. Hey, I got to say, your clientele around here is a little questionable, okay? But I'll come back, and I'll be back on the show for sure.
I appreciate that, man. So I'm going to end the show like this. Evan Golden, 4th generation wrestler. He's got wrestling going through his blood, and he is a multi-time champion. And trust me, if you want the Golden wrestling, you got to get Evan Golden to come to your town. So there you go. Evan Golden, 2-time champion. SOM, watch out because he's going to be a champion of your town pretty quick.
That's
and
right.
that is the Hashtag Truth. We'll see you guys Wednesday.
Hashtag Truth Podcast.